Good
Hello.
morning, dear colleagues. This is Natalia Pigay speaking. I'm a program officer at the SDG Philanthropy Platform here in Istanbul, Istanbul International Center for Private Sector and Development. And we are happy to have you today at our webinar, where we'll be presenting our experience from the field, localization of SDGs in Indonesia through multi-stakeholder partnership. And our colleague from UNDP Indonesia, who is the head of partnership, Mr. Ade Mulyo, will take the floor. Thank you. Also, I wanted to remind you that you'll have an opportunity to ask questions. You may use either chat tab or the questions function on the webinar panel. Thank you so much. Enjoy the webinar.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning there and good evening here in Jakarta, Indonesia. We are happy want to share about the topics about the localizing SDGs. My name is Ade Swargo Mulyo. I'm the head of Partnership UNDP Indonesia, and with my colleagues, Pak Sihol Aritonang is the head of Tanoto Foundation. And also very thanks to hosting us for this webinar. First of all, I would like to introduction about the localizing SDG strategies. This is the main topic from my presentation is how to optimizing domestic resource for implementation SDGs in Indonesia. As you know, Indonesia is very wider country. We have more than 200 million peoples. And the political structure, we have a republic and number of province, 34 province and district, 514 districts. But we have some challenge with Human Development Index ranking 113 among 188 countries in 2016. And we are facing development challenge like income gap, urban poverty, youth unemployment, climate change, and over exploitation of the natural resource. And our strategy is the country office in Indonesia, how to implement the localizing SDG. We create multi-stakeholder partnership. And we identifying there is three strategic partnerships: is government, private sector, and philanthropies. And each partners have a strong point. Like government, they have national commitments to implement SDGs, and change orientation from MDGs to SDGs, more multi-stakeholder partnership. And also, our country already established national secretariat under the Ministry of National Planning as a focal point. And also we engage with the private sector because private sector is creating job and income opportunities, provision of goods and services, and adopt some UN values in the business practice like human rights, gender, and sustainable growth. Also, there is very strategic partners also, philanthropy. You know, there is increasing about the annual giving to Indonesia. And based on the World Giving Index, Indonesia ranked number 7 by the World Giving Index by Gallup in 2016. This is very huge opportunity how to engage philanthropy. And for this session also, Pak Sihol is our colleagues want to share about why, what, and how philanthropy in Indonesia, together with local government to lead on the localizing SDG implementation in Riau Province. Also, for the next strategies, based on the successful in Riau Province, we want to replicate at least 2 provinces in these years, in Lampung Province and Gorontalo Province. Yes, this is you know, the kind of the models of public-private partnership, how to implementing SDGs, especially how philanthropy as a leading sector to initiate of this project. You know, I think this is the first in the world how philanthropy can support the localizing SDGs in the country, and it's good model to share and also as a knowledge how philanthropics have playing strategic role on the implementation of SDGs. And I think the time is yours, Pasio, for the presence about how philanthropy can support and playing a strategic role on the implementation of the SDGs. Yes, please.
Okay. Hi everyone, this is Sihol here from Tanoto Foundation Indonesia. It's a pleasure to be given an opportunity to speak in this webinar. Before I start or begin with my presentation about the foundation, our work in SDGs in Indonesia, allow me to make a brief introduction about Tanoto Foundation, so you can understand why Tanoto Foundation is involved in this localizing SDG pilot project in Indonesia. Tanoto Foundation was first set up in Indonesia in 1981. We are an operating foundation in the sense that we design and implement our own programs. Yeah, and the overarching theme of our program is actually poverty alleviation. Yeah, and we do this through three pillars of our strategy. First is education. Secondly, it's empowerment or livelihood. Thirdly, it's enhancement of quality of life, which is actually includes health, water, sanitation. Yeah. So, in short, Tanoto Foundation is poverty alleviation through education, empowerment, and enhancement of quality of life. 80% of our portfolio is in education, and currently we have partnership with over 300 primary schools in Sumatra Island of Indonesia. Now, 300 schools sounds a lot, and these are primary schools in rural areas, but compared to the 300,000 schools in Indonesia, yeah, our reach is not even making a dent or making any change at the national scale. Yeah. So we came to conclusion that if we are to make an effect, then we need to collaborate with others, and then to collectively with others, we should reach for higher goals. Yeah, and in this case, we agree that it should be aligning ourselves and other players, other actors, other philanthropists, yeah, towards achieving the SDGs. Okay, now let me begin with the our work, how SDGs are viewed in Indonesia. Of course, up to 2015, Indonesia was a key participant of the Millennium Development Goals. Yeah. Now with SDGs, also Indonesia is an early adopter of SDGs, so to speak. Yeah, and the SDGs that we know now, the goals, yeah, they are aligned with the national development priorities of Indonesia. Yeah, and then as a follow-up to that, the government of Indonesia have put in place the regulatory framework, because SDGs to some extent would have to be coordinated, yeah, by the government, and the government of Indonesia have put in place, starting from the presidential decree that endorses the adoption of SDGs, establishment of national level coordinating team, yeah, and based on the presidential decrees, 2 ministers at least have issued circular letters endorsing local governments to embrace SDGs, and even at the governor's level, yeah, at the provincial level, there are actions towards there are already significant progress in developing action plans. Yeah, and it so happens that the national or the national priorities are already reflecting alignment or similarities with some of the sustainable development goals. Okay, now next I will move on to talk about the decentralization, and this is very important because in Indonesia, the decision making now in a lot of the development agenda have been decentralized to the provincial level and to the district level. And so if you're talking about achieving SDGs, most of the actions and the resources needed to achieve those goals are actually controlled by the provincial level government as well as the district level government. Yeah, things like the public works, health initiatives, education, culture, agriculture, transportation, these are within the domain of the provincial and district level government. So discussion, any conversation about SDGs inevitably must involve provincial level and district level governments. Yeah, and also because the national budget has been decentralized and the use of the national budget allocated to every province, allocated to district level, the utilization of the national budget at this level are up to the it's within the full discretion of the district and provincial level government. So that is why for us it's important that the provincial level government as well as the district level government have clear understanding of SDGs and also have clear guidelines on how they would implement SDGs within the regional levels, the local levels. Okay. Now, we started a 2-year program with UNDP, wherein basically we pilot a project at 2 levels. Yeah? Of course, UNDP and the Ministry of National Planning, they champion the work on SDGs at the national level. Yeah. And then together with UNDP, we also pilot in terms of if a province or a district government would embrace SDGs, how would they actually design their programs? How would they actually get other players within the province and districts involved? How would they collect the data? Okay, so together with UNDP, we devised a project, which is actually a pilot of how SDGs that are, say, you know, if one sustainable development goal is embraced by the national level government, how would these goals be cascaded down to the province level? How would then it would be cascaded down to the district level? So that's actually the essence of the pilot that we are now working on with UNDP, the localizing SDG at the provincial and district level. And our hope is this pilot project can become a model for other provinces and other districts in Indonesia to replicate in terms of, you know, how each local government can put together agenda and series of action that would contribute to the achievement of SDGs for every district and province. Okay, so our initiatives with UNDP in Riau, we picked one of the province of Sumatra in Riau. Yeah, have actually 4 goals. Yeah, we want to facilitate a provincial level SDG roadmap. Yeah, and then we also want to put in place to facilitate, yeah, the formulation of a SDG governance structure. Yeah, and then also we want to put in place a framework for poverty alleviation using multi-dimension poverty approach, which is the essence of SDGs. Yeah, and then because at the end of the day, achievement to SDGs need to be measured and reported upon. Then we want to pilot an initiative of how to develop a data system that will capture the achievement, the progress of achieving the SDGs. Okay. So, and we picked 1 province in Sumatra, which is the Riau Province, and within that province, we also selected 3 districts in which the pilot project will be conducted. Yeah, and it has been ongoing now for 1.5 years. There have been progress in the project to date. Yeah, clearly and this progress is made possible by good cooperation with not only with the provincial and district level government, but also with other stakeholders in the province and district, yeah, the academia, the universities, yeah, the local medias, also the corporations that are operating in the district and province, as well as the other philanthropy and civil society organizations that are operating in the province and in the district. Yeah, as of middle of this year, we are still in the stage of developing acceleration framework, yeah, for achieving SDGs, yeah, and then also developing data platform, yeah, to capture all data pertaining to the progress in achieving SDGs. Okay. Now, I would like to move on to sharing with you the lessons learned to date, yeah. And I will speak at two different levels, two different lens. Yeah, one, what we learned from the pilot project of localizing SDGs. First, it is obvious that the local governments, both at the provincial level and district level, they are very enthusiastic in embracing the SDGs. Yeah, from our work with one province government and 3 district level government, they have expressed strong interest and we receive strong buy-in in rolling out SDGs in their respective areas. However, yeah, there is also expressed and obvious needs for capacity building, yeah, to assist the local government, yeah, in terms of how best they can integrate the SDGs within the local development plans, whether it's the annual development plan or the midterm or 5 years development plans. So that is one lesson. Yeah. Number two, alignment is there already. Yeah. At least, well, close to 50% of the SDG indicators are already, close to 40% of the SDG indicators are already reflected in the development plans of the district level government and the provincial level government. Yeah, some are very similar, but some are, you know, like it can be said that these are proxies for some of the indicators. Yeah. Now, as we progress as we continue to implement the pilot, yeah, we came to the question, okay, is 40% similarity or 40% alignment, is that good enough, or should we actually shoot for 100% alignment? Yeah, I think it's open for discussion, but so far our understanding is that, well, it really depends on the priorities of each of the district and each of the province. Yeah. Not all of the 100% or not all of the indicators of SDGs are relevant or are considered as urgent goals for a province. So, but to what extent, achievement of SDGs is good? Is 40% good or 70% good enough? I think we will leave it I think time will tell. Yeah, as we measure, like 2 or 3 years down the line or 5 years down the line, yeah, what has happened to the Human Development Index or some other measures of development. Okay, now we, of course, with this, the progress at the provincial and district level will need further guidance, yeah, in terms of, like higher level guidance from the central government. Yeah, because even at the central level, national level, I think there are still missing pieces about guidelines that provincial level government as well as district level governments are still waiting. Okay, my next slide is about how players or development actors in Riau are trying to align their programs in Indonesia, and we are taking examples from two different organizations. One is from Tanoto Foundation, from us, yeah, because as I mentioned earlier, Tanoto Foundation is an operating foundation, so we have programs ongoing, yeah, especially in education. Our school improvement program is now working with over 300 schools. Yeah, and from our experience, actually, our ongoing programs can contribute directly to achieving some of the sustainable development goals, indicators, yeah, like reading proficiency, the math proficiency, access to early childhood education. Well, of course, in SDGs, it said that, you know, before primary education, which for us, it's early childhood education. So our experience with, in terms of aligning Tanoto Foundation's program with SDGs has been very promising and very encouraging. Likewise, Tanoto Foundation also has some corporate partners, and we have been working with these corporate partners to help them in terms of aligning their community development programs or corporate social responsibility programs aligned with the SDGs. Yeah, and the result is also promising. A typical community development project would be, say, for instance, developing a clean water source, maybe clean water well, yeah, at the village level. Now, of course, this type of initiatives, yeah, if done well, can potentially contribute to the achievement of one SDG goals, one Sustainable Development Goals, that is safely managed drinking water service. Yeah. So from this early adoption and early alignment with SDGs, yeah, we see that the potential is there for private sectors and also for philanthropies to align their programs and contribute to the achievement of SDGs in the area where they operate. There are some challenges, like for instance, how do we capture all this contribution by Tanoto Foundation, by other philanthropies, by these corporations? Yeah, of course, the easy answer, although it's easier said than done, is it would be like there has to be a repository of data that will capture all the progresses. Yeah, but then the next question is, who would curate this contribution data? Yeah, because at the end we need to be able to report solid data with, you know, solid structured data. And in order to scale the contribution of SDGs, we need to be able to share successful adoption so that other people, other players, other development actors in other places, in other districts, in other government, in other provinces can replicate what the early adopters have done. Yeah. So the challenge is there, but the work should continue because the results so far have been promising. I think I will end my presentation there, and then my last slide is about, you know, a little bit more about Tanoto Foundation, what we do, our work in education, our reach, and in terms of education, empowerment, and enhancement of quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aritonang, for your presentation, for your interesting presentation. I can see that now we have 4 questions raised by our participants, and I would like to offer a possibility to ask these questions by themselves. I suggest that we start with the TF CSR department. Can you please unmute yourself and ask the question? TFC CSR department, can you hear us? Okay, we can also see that the question is being asked by Oliver. Oliver, would you like to ask the question by yourself? Oliver?
If it is it in writing?
Yes, you can. No, it's not in writing. You can ask your question. We are giving you the opportunity to ask the question directly.
Hello.
Hello, Oliver. Are you still there? Okay. If it doesn't work technically, I'm able to read these questions. I just want to provide an opportunity to Jennifer Andre. Ask her question by herself. Jennifer, please. Jennifer, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you very much for the presentation. I think it was actually very interesting and resourceful. Right now we're working on possible initiatives to localize the SDGs in Myanmar, so I'm very interested in Indonesia's experience. And so I have actually a couple of questions. I know that the decision-making power is decentralized in Indonesia, which actually is very useful, which is not always the case in Myanmar. But I was wondering, how did provincial governments prioritize their needs in Indonesia? I mean, what was the process for them to decide what they would like to work on first? And then also, how do you make sure that CSR activities complement public services today?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Since 1998, we have some radical change on the political situation from centralistic to more decentralistic. Until now, there is some criticize, there's over decentralized. But you know, hello.
Hi. Sorry. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Aritonang, we can hear you.
Yeah. Since Ade here, I want to answer from the Myanmar question. Yeah. Since 1998, Indonesia have radically changed about the political system from centralistic to decentralistic, and now the power going to more districts, but as well as the provincial level as central government representative. So what the engagement, the effective engagement in Indonesia here about localizing SDGs, to approach both, one to district levels and to stimulate the needs, and afterwards going to the provincial levels, because we not only just cover on particular districts, but also whole districts. So that's in our strategy to engage both between provincial and district levels. And also in the central government, also now will release presidential decrees about the SDGs. So that this is like Riau Province is moving forward before President decree release. And I think this is good ideas. This is the initiative from the local government as well as district government to take this initiative, so that afterwards they can inline with the I hope this is can answer the question. Hello?
Thank you. We also have other questions from other participants. Isaac from Ghana.
Hi, Isaac. Hello.
Isaac, can you please unmute me? Please go ahead.
Yeah. Natalia, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Isaac. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for the presentation. I have a couple of questions here. In the presentation, it was indicated that the government so far has aligned 40% of its current medium-term development plan, which expires in 2019, into the SDGs. I wanted to find out if the 60% are going to be integrated after the current medium-term development framework expires, or are there processes already in motion to integrate the other 60% into the current medium-term development plan? That's the first question. And my second question is there any specific? Sorry?
Let's just do one by one so it's easy to answer.
Okay, all right.
So Ade, Mr. Aritonang?
Yes, Pak Sihol will answer the question from Isaac. Please, Pak. Hello? Okay.
Yes, Ade, please.
Yeah, thank you, Sihol here. I'm happy to take this this question from Isaac. Yeah, at the national level, the 100% of the SDG indicators will need to be taken on. Yeah, because of course the national level provides the umbrella. Yeah, but it is our opinion that at the provincial level and district level, we shouldn't be aiming at 100% alignment, because it really depends on the priority, the development priorities of each of the region. Yeah, some district may already have, above average or even excellent quality of education, but some are still behind. Now, for those, of course, all indicators about quality education, they will need to embrace and try to achieve. Yeah, but some of the regions with more advanced education quality, they can do away and then with the indicators related to quality education, and then focus their efforts on the others. Yeah, so in our opinion, it depends on the development priorities of the district and the government. And to add to Ade's response about how medium-term development plan is developed at the district and provincial level, in Indonesia, the champion or the initial formulator of of development plan, there are three levels. At the national level is the National Planning Agency, and then there is a development planning agency at the province level as well. Yeah, and below the province level there is also a district level development agencies. Yeah, so these institutions are the one that champion or that initiate the formulation of development priorities. But of course, inherent in the process is the consultation with the various stakeholders within the regions. Yeah. So, like for instance, when we roll out the SDGs pilot project in Riau, we had first discussion with the provincial level planning agency, and then after we came up with certain draft of how SDGs will be rolled out in the province, we held a big enough workshop where we invited and various stakeholders from the province level. That way, the development plan as well as the SDG rollout plan already incorporates inputs and feedback and recommendation from the other stakeholders, academia, civil society organizations, local corporations, and philanthropists in the area. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
Yes,
Isaac,
yes,
you also have another question, right?
Okay, yes, I have another question. Okay, thank you so much, Natalia. Thank you for answering my questions. Okay, my second question is very simple. I just wanted to find out whether the Indonesian government has specific role, for philanthropy in terms of, rolling out the SDGs. And I ask this question because, most often than not, philanthropy is usually considered after the policymakers have sat down and derived policies. Then they expect philanthropy to rather come and invest. But I want to find out if there's any specific role for philanthropy in terms of people rolling out policies, before, formulating the policies before the spending aspect comes in. Thank you.
Yeah, it's I think it will be both me and Pak Sihol will provide the answer of the question. From my side, under the presidential decrees, there is already accommodate the philanthropy on the board, advisory board to the president about the SDGs. This is a very quantum leap of the situation in Indonesia, which before private sector and philanthropy is like not very well recognized by the government, but now for the SDGs is very well recognized. Not just very well recognized, but also in the part of achievement of the SDGs. And also the concrete things about the philanthropy role, they can provide and share about the innovative solution, because by far they are working a lot in the ground, as well as about the sharing the technologies, knowledge, also experience, how to working on the ground, and also resource mobilization. But on the Tanoto Foundation case, this is very unique and very interesting case, because by far most of the philanthropists mostly work on very thematic program like access to water, education, as well as access to electricity. But now on this case about localizing SDGs, more advocacy level. This is more a very strategic and advocacy level. This is very interesting things. Yeah, I think Pak Sihol can add the answer about the role of philanthropy on the SDGs.
Thank you. I think, well, the philanthropy clearly is being given enough space within the SDGs to participate. Yeah, and I think that is one of the main differences between SDGs and FDGs. Yeah, so we believe it is up to the philanthropists whether or not they want to take part in achieving SDGs or not. In the case of Tanoto Foundation, we do want to take part in SDGs because, as I mentioned earlier, philanthropy dollar is of course limited. Yeah, and if we are to achieve significant change at the national level, at the provincial level, we need to shoot for higher level goals, and we need to do this collectively with others. So if more philanthropists like Tanoto Foundation would strive for achieving the SDGs, then at the aggregate level, it will be good for the country. Yeah. Now, so far, of course, our alignment with SDGs have been made on a voluntary basis, and it is a conscious decision among the philanthropists. Yeah. It so happens that Tanoto Foundation, especially our trustee members, the Tanoto family, they are also active in the philanthropy circle, yeah, in India, in Indonesia, and in Asia. So, from our conversation with some of the other philanthropists, yeah, the agreement is there to shoot for or to contribute to achievement of SDGs, yeah. And of course, one way to do that is to align our programs or intervention to what the government recommends in their plan. Because at the end of the day, like many other development programs, yeah, government is actually the exit strategy of the philanthropic initiatives. Yeah, so aligning our programs with SDGs, with the initiatives led by the government, is a natural thing to do in order for us to achieve, sustainable exit, yeah, in the long term. So I hope we answered the question. Back to you, Natalie.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Next question we have from Myra Martin. We'll provide the opportunity to ask this question. Myra, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm Mayra Martin, project officer at the Colombian Confederation of NGO. Indeed, I think that Mr. Sihol, he had already answered the question. It was about the alignment of SDGs into the national plans of Indonesia. So I wanted to know if there were like national indicators, national targets, and if these national targets correspond to the realities in provinces and districts. So he had already mentioned that, yeah, that perspective of different stakeholders have been taken into account. So maybe I would like to ask if there's any mechanism of monitoring this SDG implementation at a local level.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I will try to take this question. Yeah. Thank you, Myra. Yeah. At the moment, the national targets are still being developed, right? And this is an exercise that is happening at the national level. Yeah, the Ministry of Development Planning is working with the Central Bureau of Statistics. Yeah, and this is part of the work that our colleagues from UNDP is leading. Yeah. Now, and as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that the provincial level government as well as the district level government are waiting is actually this monitoring, like the aggregation at the national level, how we are going to do it. So it is still a question mark, and well, not really a question mark, but it is still work in progress at the central national level. But at the district level and provincial level, what is now being developed and being worked on is like a central database that will capture whatever data that can be captured at the district and the provincial level. Yeah, and yeah, maybe at a later stage, yeah, it will be fed into the national level central monitoring systems. So yeah, but of course, you know, because we are doing a pilot in Riau Province, then we cannot wait for the national level initiative to formulate the monitoring system, the national level monitoring system. But at the field level, we will just collect all the data that we deem as relevant to capture the progress in achieving SDGs. I think my colleague Ade may have some more explanation to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sihol. Yeah, I just want to add that desynchronizing data is very important now between the province levels, district level, and national levels. And national level is already documented about the metadata. This is like the manual to each district and provincial level, how to collect the data, how to calculate the data, how to analyze the data. And in parallel, also district and province level now is already collect and use this data. And also now is ongoing process supported by UNDP Bangkok, want to develop the dashboard on the provincial level. So the governor can monitor easily and also real time about the SDG achievement. I hope at the end of this year, this dashboard can be tested for the first time in Indonesia. The first piloting in running well in Pakistan together with Microsoft. Also, Microsoft Indonesia also want to replicate here in Indonesia with the Riau Province as the case. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have next question coming from UNDP Vietnam. Jung Kyung Kim, if you can ask your question.
Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing the very comprehensive information about the piloting localizing SDG in Indonesia. Since UNDP Vietnam, we are also working on the SDG implementation with the government. I want to ask particularly about the financial scale. doing piloting in Indonesia, have you found the financial scale you needed based on the index and the scale, the data? So what was your finding in terms of financial needs? Hello?
Oh, yes. I try to take this opportunity to give you answer, and then maybe Pascal can giving some additional. Yes, this is, as my title presentation about the to maximize about the domestic resource for implementation of the SDGs. Yeah, on the three location for piloting is about on the 2 years, not much. This on the $230,000 for 2 years on the 3 district, also the provincial levels. And this is fully funded by foundation, also contribution from the local government. I think local government provide, including in kind, around at 20 or 30% of the all total cost. And this is give to answer your question.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So you mentioned that the you are now currently doing piloting in 3 provincials and
3 districts in 1 province.
Okay, 3 districts, and you are now spending about $230,000
yes.
For
2
years, and this is composition of foundation and local district, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, because this is requirement from ours, from UNDP and foundation, because we want to taking the ownership of the local government. They should contribute, and in the future the composition more higher on the local government contribution.
Definitely. But my question is, how was the how is that this number came from? Based on your indicators plan, or what was the general the background of this budget composition?
Yes, this budget mostly, maybe not too much, but very strategic, because most of them about the soft skill, because the hardware provided by the government, local government, and the foundation provide on the soft skill, linkages, knowledge management, collecting the data, advocacy, mainstreaming about the SDGs. Actually, the composition divided by 3 things. 1, to mainstreaming SDGs. This is include the training, mainstreaming, socialization, collect the data, and so on. And second one, the acceleration, how to synchronize between the, district level data to the provincial data and the national data, and also policy support. It's been that advocacy, creating the mechanism of the monitoring on the provincial and district levels. This is the 3 main activities.
Thank you.
Mainstreaming, acceleration, and 4 policies. And also, this is the last one is very important. Also, the communication and promotion. This is I'm very thank you also from Tanoto Foundation to support about the communication, also for the publication, because this foundation is very strong on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much. I still have 3 or 4 questions that were put in the question section by other participants who are not able to ask these questions by themselves. I apologize if this will be some kind of repetitive questions, but I think it's important that we raise these questions and hear the answers. So the question number 1 from the TF CSR department: how receptive are the local governments to the SDG localization?
Okay, I will take this question. The local governments are very eager to embrace SDGs. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the situation now, Indonesia, statistically speaking, is no longer considered a poor country. With per capita income of 4,500 or more, it is not a poor country. But of course, symptoms of poverty are still, are still visible in many parts of Indonesia. So that is why then, having SDGs or embracing SDGs will allow local governments to have clear targets to achieve, clear goals to aspire to achieve. Yeah. So yeah, at least from our pilot in one province in Riau Province and 3 districts within the province, yeah, our conclusion is that they're very eager, they're very receptive to SDGs. And earlier, my colleague Ade from UNDP have indicated that at least 2 other provinces of Indonesia will be replicating the work that we have done in the Riau province. So yeah, this again shows that embracing SDG is something that local governments are eager to do. Thank you. Ade, you want to add something?
Thank you so much.
Yes. Hello.
Please,
I want to give. Yes, about the replication is very important, because once we create something, and then this is like learning by doing, and also as a national showcase we call, so that another province can easily to adopt and also to replicate with some modification based on the province priority. But again, this is should be not, this is just about the beyond of the funding, but also how we can attract multi-stakeholder partnership, foundation, private sector, and the local government and GSO for implementation. This is very, very important. This is not just about the activities, but also how to taking the ownership step by step, and then we can move and replicate to the other province.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. There is another question from the same participant, TF CSR department. What is the most important role of UNDP in ensuring this SDGs adoption?
Yeah, this is the role of UNDP. One is like for like knowledge management. In terms of to mainstreaming about the SDGs from national, province, and district levels. And second one, also to accelerate boosts about the thematic program, how to convince philanthropy to make a collective action on the thematic program, and to ensure there is related on the SDGs like access to water, education, and also electricity. And also this is, I think this is very interesting things, what the Tanoto Foundation doing right now. Is they also interesting about the more advocacy levels, high levels, about to change the behavior, change the policies on the provincial levels. This is very important. Will be already reflected on the localizing SDGs. And the third one, yeah, UNDP now is creating the products based on the lesson learned. The name is localizing SDGs, so that UNDP can share and can serve to the other local government to replicating on this initiative. And Pasiol maybe give some additional.
Yes, I would like to add on to what Ade has mentioned. Yeah, as a philanthropic organization, we like working with a translational organization like UNDP, because I mean, philanthropy is part of the private sector. Of course, private sector also include the corporations. Yeah, working with organizations like UNDP, we feel it's more neutral. Yeah. So that is one. Number two, UNDP having international network can bring knowledge, yeah, from elsewhere that we can adapt to Indonesia. Yeah, that's reason number two. And the third one, UNDP by design works with the central government. They have, and advocacy is something that UNDP does very well in many aspects of development. Yeah. So for philanthropy organization like Tanoto Foundation to take part in national efforts, having UNDP as a partner provides us a good platform for us to take part. Yeah. So yeah, we hope that UNDP will continue to play important role in this SDG rollout in Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're moving to the questions from Oliver. Question number 1, why Tanoto Foundation have chosen Riau as a pilot project for localizing SDGs?
Okay, thanks for the question. Well, it's the main reason is that it's for practicality consideration. Yeah, at the outset, we wanted to do a pilot of how SDGs that is embraced at the national level will be cascaded down or implemented at the provincial and district level. Yeah. So we thought that we should start with an area where either UNDP or Tanoto Foundation have significant presence or have some footprints. Yeah. And well, it so happens that one of the geographical focus of Tanoto Foundation is Riau Province. We have good relationship with the local government there at both level, provincial and district. And then we also have programs running in the province so that we can also pilot how the alignment can take place at the district and province level with the program level at the foundation and also at our corporate partners. And we have personnel also in the field who can provide facilitation if needed for this collaborative effort with UNDP to work smoothly in the region. So it's an opportunistic approach. We start with the simple one. Well, of course, our hope is that in the two other provinces that UNDP will be replicating, we hope that UNDP will be getting similar level of support from other partners in the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And question number 2, what would be some of the most important challenges for philanthropy like Tanoto Foundation in aligning its programs with SDGs?
Thank you. I will. Thanks for the question. Challenge. First is about the scale of the programs. Yeah, a lot of times we do programs at the village level. Yeah, but in terms of the achievement of goals and the tracking of goals, at the lowest level in Indonesia, it's at the district level. So there are gaps in, like at least 2 levels of government between where the indicators are aggregated, which is at the district level, and where we actually do the work, which is at the village level. Yeah, that is one. Number 2, different priorities. Like philanthropy, of course, to some extent will determine priorities based on the passion of the philanthropists, yeah, and what the philanthropic organization sees as priorities, which may differ from what the incumbent government sees as priorities. Yeah, so as much as possible, we want to align, but if situations are such a way that what we consider as priority is not at the top of the priority list of the government, then yeah, we will still continue with our priorities, but then we may not be getting the best alignment possible. But I think it's okay as long as we have common framework, which is SDGs, that will tie all the interventions together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I have a last question that is raised by Hannah. Can the work or the framework or plan from Rio to be replicated in other provinces in Indonesia? Or does it have to be customized for different areas?
Yeah, of course. But the generic model is already there in Riau Province. But let's say in Lampung as well as in Gorontalo in the eastern part of Indonesia, will be modified based on their priority. Because, you know, this is not all the SDGs 17 will be implemented, but based on basic priority. But the mechanism, the process, and the engagement, this is almost the same. For instance, like how to create the multi-stakeholder partnership engagement with the local philanthropies, as well as local private sector, and how to collaborate very closely with the local government. Because in Riau Province, we divided by 3 working groups in the private sector and philanthropy, as well as the local government, to discuss with the particular issues on the SDGs. And for instance, like in Lampung Province, this is a very near future of the collaboration. They are very interesting about more coastal areas, coastal development. It's been about the underwater, as well as climate change, and also the fisheries. And this is reflected will be different with Riau. Is mostly about more like education, health, also the economic side is about the plantation. But again, about the mechanism, about the process, this is the same. And Riau Province, this is a very thank you. That's for Riau Province that we have now is able to create like future toolkits how to create localizing SDGs. I think is our Bangkok office also will fully support to create these toolkits based on Indonesian case. Or maybe almost the same with the ASEAN case with the our colleagues from Vietnam. Yeah. This is from my side. Maybe Pasiol will add something. Okay. Okay, Natalia.
Thank you so much, Adam. Mr. Aritonang, would like to add something?
No, I think we are fine. I think we support the answer. Well, of course, we learned something from the Riau case. Yeah, not all of them will be immediately applicable to the other provinces. Of course, some adaptation will have to take place in other provinces. Thank you.
Okay, this is all for the questions that we received from the participants. I would like to thank the presenters, Mr. Ade Mulyo, who is the head of partnership in UNDP Indonesia, and Mr. Sihol Aritonang, who is the head of Tanoto Foundation, for the interesting presentations and sharing the experiences on SDG localization in Riau Province. Just to remind all the participants that this webinar is being recorded, so you'll be able to use the recorded version in case if you're not able to hear some of the questions or you're not able to stay during the whole webinar. Please, we will send you the links to the webinar, to the recorded version. Once again, I would like to thank you for your time and for your interest. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.